Hey, you're welcome back to Project Management Demystified. My name is Michael. I'm a VP and a project management professional. Right, so I think this is episode 25 of our hypothetical project. And in this episode, as I said in a number of episodes ago, that we'll start winding down the project. And just to caveat, that does not necessarily mean I've covered everything that could happen on a project. I just try to give people a sense of what could happen. I can't really cover everything because our projects are distinct and they are unique. You can't really know what would happen on the project. That's why personality and human skills are very important. So in the last episode, we spoke about some of the change management perspective of the project. So delivering, implementing, and landing the change. So that's a word, a term that we use commonly in project or change management. You can deliver a change and the change will not land. And when we say land, it means that the people impacted by the change have received and accepted the change. Say, for instance, you put in a new system, a shiny system that works really well, that should work really well. But the people that should be using the system have not really accepted it. If they don't accept it, it means that the benefits of the system will not be realized because they will not be using the system to its maximum. They will not be optimizing the system. They will not be using the system to its optimum capacity or maximum capacity. So that's why change management is important. So focusing on changes landing. So hopefully the change has landed and people have received it, but maybe in the next video I can speak about if the change doesn't land, what happens. So at the end of a project, if it's a traditional type of project, even agile project, we tend to celebrate, and the budget for celebration would have been included in the project budget. And I've been on projects where celebrations were things like just bringing in cakes and drinks for people in the office, for everyone that worked on the project or everyone in the office that was part of the project. There's been massive projects where parties were thrown, like massive parties where you had 3-course meal because the project delivered successfully. Because a lot of people have been focusing on the work of the project and people have really worked hard. So as human beings, we tend to recognize the efforts that's been put in over the number of months, years. I've been on 2-3 years projects and celebration was massive, and I've been on some project where we just share drinks and sometimes we could even do t-shirts just to sensitize the people that the project is landing. So yeah, celebration is important. And then we also do one other thing I want to mention is lessons learned. So in a traditional world, in waterfall world, we can do lessons learned sessions. So every aspect of the project or some aspect of the project will come together and say, okay, how did things go? What was done? What went well? And what could be done differently next time? And this is documented. Sometimes we could document it and not go back to it, but what I've done in the past is to document it in a place where everybody can come across it so that people can see what happened on previous project and they try to avoid the pitfalls. In an agile world, you're lucky to have a retro. So the teams would have the retros depending on the length of the sprint. If it's 2 weeks, you have the retro every 2 weeks, and then they also have if they're working in an agile release train environment where they do program planning increments, then they could be having inspect and adapt sessions where they come and problem solve and assess what went well, reflections and improvements. So that could also happen every 3 months, depending on the length of the PI of the planning increment. So lessons learned, retros, celebrations, they are all things that happen towards the end of the project, and they are important. They're as important as the work that went into the project. One thing I would also mention is that while a project could start and end, in this recent time, because of the the rate of or the pace of change, projects might not necessarily end. Say for instance, this project that we've just done and we've just been doing, or that we're about to work completing, it could happen that there will be a dedicated team that will continue to improve the project. Just like mobile apps, organizations regularly update their mobile apps, and you would have to go through like a project management framework or process to get that updated, because they have to be release planning and all that. So that could happen. It will be very difficult for projects to just start and stop once the project is delivered, because in this day and age, things change really quickly. So if the way the world is moving, the team should be nimble and flexible enough to move in that direction, and even faster and change faster. I think I'll just leave you there for today, and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers. Bye-bye.